Oh, yeah. So we got some ponderings. It's ponderous, man. It's freaking ponderous. Who said that? Let me get that quote. Dun dun dun. So, yeah, I'm just going to rant about my disorder, the last 3 years on YouTube, maybe tell my origin story if there's any interest. But this is just stream of unconsciousness, the stuff for me to keep track of in my own life, basically. Not guaranteed to be entertaining, but definitely relatable for a lot of you guys. Or maybe not. That's part of my problem. I always second guess myself into the ground. I give myself enough time to talk myself out of something when I should be flowing into it in a more organic way. But yeah, time is a cruel master. I had to make it so in my mind I can't worship tasks. No eggs go in any one basket. You just have to give it all to God. The only thing certain is uncertainty, and that's what's scary, but it can be fun. If you have to think about things and frame them the right way in your brain, it turns out better for you. But a lot of people, they'll turn into busybodies and they'll just start, oh, I'm challenging myself, I'm doing all this stuff, but they're never happy. They're have irregular breathing and they get obese and they get all these eating problems, they get all this stuff going on. But they get obsessed with the symbolism of doing well, that's their statement. And people on here, especially men, they're always comparing to each other. It's so stupid and it's not masculine at all. Back in the old days, I'd see guys fight in the bar and I'd be like, yeah, that guy's pretty badass. But then I'm just like, even that's stupid. But it's 10 times worse online because anyone can masquerade as a badass on here. Um, and if you need an outlet for something, I came on here to get feedback socially, and because I was going through a really shy time where I was just clamming up. Everything in my life was going sour. Like literally everything was falling through. And I'm like, okay, I need I need to know that I'm not being driven completely insane. But now that I'm in a slightly different place in life, some things gotten better, some things remain, praise God. But I'm looking at things with a more mature angle, and I'm seeing where I really was attention seeking, and I couldn't see it because I needed the stress relief. I needed to just pour my spirit out, even if I was too silly or inappropriate or stupid or whatever the case may be. I just needed to splash around and flap my arms and say, look at me, look at me. But now, when cooler heads prevail, obviously that's stupid. I'm in my 40s. I don't need cheap attention like that. But I was trying to cast a wider net because I thought that's what you do during really tough times. So I thought, but now I'm like, no, I'm only meant for my niche group. I'm nerdy, I'm flirty, I'm uniquely me. I've got several interests, and that's about it. And I wasn't even using my hobbies as a way to reach out to people. Here, people want to hate bond and get you into the drama sphere. So they'll whisper things in your ear and they'll try to pull you over a certain way to weaponize you. And they'll be, come over this chat. And then you realize, then you go somewhere else. Like, oh yeah, I know everyone in chat. They're pretty cool. And then they'll say, hey, weren't you in so and so's chat? They're such and such. And it gets so stupid with all politics of it and all the associations and and here they say like, I forget how it goes. Believe a certain percentage of what you hear, and also only a certain amount of what you see. And now, of course, with AI, that's going to take on a whole new meaning. We have to adjust the parameters of that expression accordingly to fit. But what do you guys think? Some of you guys are trapped. Some people now I'm realizing some things are real fights really are fake on here, and other ones they love to swirl in that tide pool because they get the attention and they get multiple streamers talking about them. And I was even thinking, like 3 years ago, I was thinking, wow, what a great thing. I have some stuff going in my life and work that I'm working on in the background, but it'd be great to fill this time on here since it's easier and I have the apparatus and the tools and just pour myself into some wacky IRL streaming and just get a million views and just do the stupidest crap you know what I mean? Like, so that did go through my mind, and I know. But then I'm like, no, I don't want my grandkids to see that. You know what I mean? Like, and all that. So And I thought if I held back, I would become stuffy or appear stuffy. And I matured beyond that too. But my meds were changing my personality and changing the way I interpret things. And I thought, oh man, all my skills are going by the wayside, and my personality is being eaten away and stripped back. I just want to feel Maddie-ish again. I just want to feel like myself and have that spirit and that humor and that sense of whatever and the kindness that everybody loved. Oh, not to sound stuck up. But then that was another thing too. So I'll tell my story. I was part of the calf, and then the Discord was integrated into the YouTube, and so they fed off each other. So I had a ton of people to talk to and advertise every day. But I developed Discord OCD, where I'd wake up in the morning, my eyes would be glazed over, and I'd just be typing, waiting for the next person to say the thing. And I was doing that because I was under so much stress. And I know it's the biggest waste of time ever, but in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm sharpening my one-liners, I'm sharpening my sentence structure again, and I'm doing all that. Wow, this is really confessional. But then I got little over 1K on my first couple channels. And then after that, it dropped to like 700. But I got lazier and lacked motivation as I went along. So there was a weird gulf somewhere in there of some really hard times. Some people helped me with some super chats around the holidays, and it was great. Yeah, I was making a little bit of money, $20 here and there, because people like my stuff. And I won't say I wasn't trying, but I had an iPhone 8 Plus. I couldn't do the layered stuff that I'm trying to do now. That was just a twinkle in my eye because I was dirt broke. I couldn't see income like stacking up to where I can actually use it in a tangible way for anything good. But I knew it would be amazing. But I'm so humbled by the wait. Hopefully, I've developed patience and not resentment in the meantime. But it was worth the wait in one sense. I wish it would have gotten a year earlier if I'm being technical, but now I'm just an old guy trying to learn all the new stuff, but I know I'll put it to good use, and it'll be something I can use every day to help other people, encourage them, put out my best stuff. Yeah, the algorithm only favors 1 to 2 topics of interest, if that. And now things are changing. There's a lot of controversy. They're saying the AI thing might be screwing up or doing something weird and banning a lot of channels and stuff. So yeah, always good to have a backup channel, but my new backup is just going to be music. I thought I wanted to preserve all my stuff for the feedback's sake, number one, and two, for myself to watch over. So I have little notes to myself I recorded on here that I've left public, but I'm not an attention whore in that sense. I just like to preserve things. I like to look at things. I've been like this ever since I was 5, Had the Talkboy tape recorder. I would do like the O.J. Simpson trial, the real version you've never heard. And I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, and just, to crack up my buddies and stuff. I love doing that. But I didn't want to develop entertainer's burden. I wanted this to be, but see, I took it too far the first way. I made it too lightweight, and people would come in here, tell me their stories. Women would trust me with their secrets, lighten me up on fucking social media and Discord. And it did kind of go to my head about the 1.5 year mark of my extreme popularity, especially in a relative sense. So don't get any ideas that I'm being stuck up. I had the Drunken Peasants made a viral video of my 2-minute video. They ripped on me for 45 minutes to an hour, mostly funny jokes. And I didn't even know that podcast existed. And on my new channel, I preserved a partial clip, and it's got a whopping 35 views. So what can I say? That being said, a lot of stuff really is algorithm based. If you start a new channel, keep it at one topic of interest or hobby or whatever, and you will be recommended to a lot of people that will like your stuff if it's in the ballpark of good. Now, when people do see my stuff here and there, even on my older channels, like, wow, we didn't know you were this talented, blah, 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 blah. But I have no knowledge to promote myself, even if I wanted to, and I'm not sure I do, because I have self-esteem problems, and I go back and fucking forth on that. So a lot of people have differing views on me. Some people are like, wow, he's very confident because he's always dancing. He's got a big smile on his face. He must have a good life. No, that's only half the story, And the other people are like, oh, he's too boring. He just talks about the Bible and Christian stuff and his ADD. Who cares? And I'm trying to process my pain rather than dwell on it. But I see the trick is people get stuck in these tide pools, especially if they've been here 5 to 7 years. That's where it really starts to hit home. And people say, I want to get out of the drama, and a few really do. And others will just, they almost like people talking about them. They think any port in a storm, any attention is good attention, you know. So that's what I wanted to say. I really, truly, truly want to make meaningful stuff on here. Then I think, wow, who wouldn't? But a lot of it's just not getting confirmation growing up. I'm dealing with that through therapy and stuff. I know. Dwelling on his childhood. But it's just one of the pieces of the puzzle, the layers of the onion that makes the Maddie. I'm trying to demystify all categories of my life because it doesn't make sense. Because really, we should fear getting older and our physical stuff, not any emotional based stuff. That's stupid. Our bodies and minds aren't designed to take on that extra stress if you're dealing with a person and their problems. You know what I mean? I forgot what I was saying. Um, and I love Jack and I love Sarah and blah, blah, blah. Anyone that's here and follows the rules, respectful, contributes to the discussion. You don't have to flatter me. You don't have to agree with my politics. I don't really talk about those. And it goes on and on and on. But I'm so used to having 30 or more people in the chat, no matter what, even if I knew I was being boring. And it's not just the fun of it all, it's or the symbolism of it all. I try to look past that. It's that I got used to it. And so I was like, oh, that so and so will like this. I'm gonna. But then I'm like, I'm got a little too pandery and catery and reliant. I should set the table before I deliver the goods. I should have a battle plan ahead of time and say, here, this is what I want to do and how I'm going to do it and try it. If this doesn't stick to the wall, I've got a backup. I've got all these other things. But talk about maximizing a hobby and making it fun and functional and eventually profitable. I know I will get the super chats. I know I'll earn it the old-fashioned way. Sheer determination and talent that will blossom from it. But it'll be a great journey. It's crazy, though. Sometimes, I just want to veg out and watch movies and stuff. And the next day I feel like, no. But at the time, I'm like, my brain is lying to me and saying everything is too much work in one sense. There's too many components to keep straight. But there's tools in my tool belt now that didn't even exist a decade ago or less. And the AI, the chat GPT that I was so terrified of, I just made my music lists on it for a while. I'm like, just take me to the craziest, take me to the moon. And a list that just develops the most perfect atmosphere and layered blast that goes crazy and with a huge dissonant crashing conclusion. I'm like, wow, I could stretch beyond my means. And now I'm getting answers every time I have a question. Well, I just have the free version. But, I really think it's tough. I know I'm working on my life and I know I'm making progress. But I don't put myself above anyone else in a stupid way. I'm here if you guys need me. Believe me, I've been through it all and I'm going through it all. I've seen the good and bad and everything in between. But I could become like another narcissist depending on when you pop in here. But I stand by my content that I've done, at least this month. And if you see me more G-rated, it's because I'm trying to be more my wholesome self. But yeah, it is tempting to be like, try to jump on the next moving train. You have to be very considerate, consider everything else. Say, is this the best use of my time today? But yeah, starting out, I'm like, well, this is great. I'll just maximize everything I would normally do in a day. I'll do a double whammy and I'll push it out there for others to say what they want to say and stuff like that. And I didn't even think about hiding my face like most people do on here. I don't think I look good, but I think the facial expressions help convey the proper emotion and makes it more whatever, palatable. So somebody was upset the other day, like, he's rocking back and forth. He should turn his camera off. Wah. Sometimes I don't even know I'm doing that. That's part of my disorder. All my freaks and real ones, especially that share in my woes, they know what's up with that. I know you guys, a lot of you are in the same boat. So if I can help you in any way I can, Not monetarily, though. That's my one self-conscious thingy, but I'm working through that. The Lord's giving me some opportunities. We're going to trudge through the swampland together. We're going to build this pirate ship. We're going to set sail, boy. It's going to be fun. But those that love my original stuff, my new stuff is going to be 1,000 times better. So I have no way to reach out to them because I can't remember their screen names. And I just kind of stopped talking to them and let them kind of drop out of my life. And I feel horrible because I became really antisocial the last year and a half compared to what I was when I first came on here. So people didn't know what to think. They're like, oh, he's shutting down or he doesn't like me. No, I still love many of you. I still have 100 women on Discord that I talk to every day. Well, not every. But I'm still on good terms with. That's the point. That being said, you can't put too much stock on anybody on here. The people on here, they're very available in a lot of ways that other people aren't. But that doesn't mean they're, just because something's more accessible doesn't mean it's more worthwhile. And nothing good comes without a little bit of a scrappy fight to it. You gotta say relaunch to update. I thought I just updated this stupid thing. Finally learning how to use my Mac. I didn't even know there was a left click when you hold it, together, a 2-finger thing. But I love this trackpad. I've always had a mouse on my old laptop, my old Dell PC. What do you guys think? I want to hear from you. We're out of here before we hit the 20-minute mark. Keep it short, sweet, reviewable, and doable. But I felt bad in one sense. I had so many people that would watch every 1 to 3 hour live stream I did per day, even if there were big dead spots of uninteresting stuff. And I'm like, oh no, I'd get an email. I'm binge watching your content right now. I'm like, please don't. I would, it's the low self-esteem in me, I guess. But a lot of live streams are an in the moment thing. Most people don't review them once the news is stale within 24 hours. You know what I mean? So it's more like an experience to get a group together, chatting and stuff. It's pretty interesting on its structure. Interactive entertainment can make you feel a certain way, like you're contributing more than you are. But if you're wasting more time than you should be, naughty. But yeah, I just wanted to give this little thing to chew on. I don't know how rambly I'm going to be. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. What should I do with this channel? I think I'm just going to leave it and just let it die out. Anyone that has any genuine interest in my new stuff, if you play guitar or whatever, it's going to be good. But I'm done trying to be super mainstream, spread myself way too thin, and cast this huge, massive worldwide net. You know what I mean? I thought it was a good time because I wanted to use the impulsive side of me for good and then use the patient side of me to come alongside that, but I couldn't get that balance right, So life's all about balance. Everything in moderation, including moderation itself. No. But yeah, YouTube is doing some odd things. Not really a secret anymore. Now, my OBS, I can take that to another platform, so that wasn't wasted knowledge. I can have that spill over for me and be helpful in my life. But they're saying I should try Twitch. It's more live streaming based, but I don't think I'm going to make live stream my bread and butter anymore just because it worked out for me 3 years ago. It's time to move on because I wanted to do my creative stuff anyway, and I couldn't. So I did that because it was the only thing I could think of to do that was semi-creative, that would keep my brain going. But I didn't know if I'd be any good at it or could take it to the next step. I'm still happy. I mean, there's been a million pluses. I got this new computer, this fancy mic. Of course, I'm broke again now, but that's not the point. I might be able to deliver some plasma within the coming week. They test my bone marrow because I did a double negative blast on both arms, and they turned me down. They said I had to wait 2 months to regenerate. I'm like, yeah, people like me because I'm honest. I tell it like it is. Sometimes I get self-conscious about being boring, and I'm going to change that. I'm better in smaller doses, and I know that. Even to myself, I can only take so much of me. But yeah, I'm still getting 65 to 75% female viewership, even though now I average 5 to 10 views if it's a live stream. And before, I got up to the point where every live stream, no matter what, had 1 to 300 base level views, for like the first day, and then it would build. But then I would privatize stuff because it's like, no, we just had fun in the moment. But if you watch it back, it's a bunch of inside jokes and stuff and shout outs. But yeah, I really, really love this technology and what I could do with it now and in the future. And I've been clapping cheeks till like my dick felt really sore after a while. I had to put Neosporin on it because it was, oh dude. So I just killed my allergies. That I was always whining about. I got a rug shampooer and I did my room over like 6-7 times. The floor's still kind of wet. But then I found this fucking memory foam pillow behind my headboard that was green, solid, and mold. And I'll bring it in and show it later, I think. But I just tossed it in the garage because I couldn't even stick it in a bag. The mold was getting all over me. So yeah, I had the first good night's sleep of my life last night in about a year, where I didn't wake up to pee or drink water or both. And so yeah, they said they couldn't test me at the allergy clinic. They just referred me to an extra special clinic that can, because they said you have to go off Benadryl for 1 to 2 weeks to defrost. And I said I can't go 2 hours, because it was starting in my throat and just killing me, where I just like vomit and just like. But I had these weird coffee stains that had been here ever since I moved in, and I got rid of those just going over them a bunch of times. It's one of the cheaper steamers too. It's not like the Power Brush 5000. It's just a Bissell basic, like $20, $60 one. I got it at a yard sale. So, but yeah, I had got the special allergy cleaner. So I think I'm just allergic to dirt and pollen in my new area, so I'm just never going to wear my shoes in my room or anything like that. But I didn't know some allergies can just rip the crap out of people. Some people just get a little sneeze here and there, and they can just take a spritzer and they'll be okay. Other people, it blasts out of all their orifices. A little YOLO Tango, WNBC. But yep, I'm learning how to make it all fit together in the most beautiful way possible. Doesn't take much to encourage me, but that's part of the problem. But I'm done being so easily amused in a bad way, you know. But I still can't worship success no matter what. If I think it's masculine or it sounds a certain way, because the symbolism isn't enough. Everyone's life is their individual thing, you know. Ooh. I never wanted to get a dog. Like, I love other people's dogs and stuff, but my cat would just not be cool with it. But a dog, I like to keep my bed in some areas sacred. I wouldn't want a big old beast shedding all over me and licking everything. It's kind of. But I'm not a complete sanitation freak. But as far as pet hair, I really freak out. Once I get a little hair on one of my shirts, I'm like, fuck, the shirt's ruined. Because then you wash it and it just keeps sticking to the side. Yeah, and those rug machines aren't hard to use at all. It's satisfying to see all the black sooty water swell up in the thing, and you keep emptying the tank. It's really cool. Yeah, I tried everything else. I taped up my vents with Gorilla Tape, and I turned off my timer on the thermostat. So I just killed all the heater, and I said no more opening any of the windows downstairs. I got a whole bunch of windows just down here alone. So I love fresh air. I'm a fresh air fanatic. So I had to say, the time I've been in here, never have anything open at all, Yeah, I got an air purifier and a humidifier. The purifier is working because I changed the filter and it had a bunch of crap all over it. But then I'm like, well, how much could it actually be floating in the air? Because I only use it in this one. This is my main productivity room. You need those quotations, right? But humidifiers are weird because you wouldn't. Because by the time that the mist gets to your nose, it's probably seems like it's fully dissipated into the air or just gone. Like I don't know science that well, how much water particles stay, but here's the humidifier. This is the air purifier. I'll get sucked into this thing. It's weird though because it doesn't have any suction power. I thought it'd be like a vacuum cleaner actively sucking out the air. But it has a fan on it instead, so I don't. Does it just wait for the particles to fall into it? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a very active thing. I should get one of those the smart ones. All right, I think that's it for me. I just want to come on here and say the first 10 minutes are the most important. But thank you guys for all you've done. I am moving to a new channel and new format starting tonight. So you won't see as much of me on here. This will just be stuff I preserve for me to look back on. And if it serves a double purpose, then so be it. But I'm done trying. I mean, I don't know how I can say it. But yeah, I'm done with the hangout streams and all that shit. It's a bunch of shit.